In Matthew 19, verses 7 through 8, the Pharisees think they can set Jesus against Moses, but Jesus shows that Moses was not justifying divorce, and much less commanding it, as the Pharisees claim. Rather, Moses' regulation protected wives in the event of divorce after a conditional statement, if then, in Deuteronomy chapter 24, verses 1 through 4, ends with the prohibition of a man to remarry a woman he had earlier divorced, treating her like property to be disregarded, and reacquired at will, rather that as a person who is his partner by covenant. A hardness of heart with respect to marriage and divorce is specifically restrained by this case law. Jesus says in Matthew 19:9, whoever divorces except for sexual immorality, the Greek word for sexual immorality is broad, including a number of sexual sins besides adultery, and it is also present in Mark 10:11. Jesus recognizes that sexual infidelity strikes at the heart of the marital covenant between spouses and is therefore grounds for divorce. However, divorce is not mandatory, and reconciliation is desirable. The question of divorce has become urgent in the society. I don't know how we've reached in this society where divorce has reached epidemic proportions because of the radical proliferation of divorce and the legal and family problems it provokes. The law has moved to facilitate the process by providing for no-fault divorce. As divorce becomes easier and easier to obtain, the problem of its acceleration is a problem. The Bible is not superficial about divorce. Jesus teaches on the subject, is delivered in the context of a first century debate between rabbinic schools. There was an ongoing disagreement about the legitimate grounds of divorce. Jesus was confronted by the issue, and Pharisees come up to him and tested him by asking, is it lawful to divorce one's wife for any cause? He answered, have you not read that he who created them from the beginning made them male and female, and said, therefore a man shall leave his father and mother and hold fast to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. So they are no longer two, but one flesh. What therefore God has joined together, let no one separate. Matthew 19, verses 3 through 6. We notice when the Pharisees asked Jesus about the divorce law, he immediately took them back to scriptures and God's original institution of marriage. He stressed that marriage is intended to be for life. He underscored the union of husband and wife into one flesh that can't be dissolved by human decrees. Only God is authorized to determine the grounds of dissolving marriage. The debate continued. They said to him, why then did Moses command one to give a certificate of divorce